its offseason program, and players are not going to want to be there for that guy. And when the Jaguars hired him, my first thought was, is Chris Doyle that much better than the next best performance strength coach? Like, you had to have him? Couldn't hire anybody else for that job? He's that good? And the Jaguars quickly learned, with the Fritz Pollard alliance speaking out against the hire and others criticizing the hire, that it was not a good decision. And both sides went the way that they should have, with them saying that he had resigned from his position. But I think everybody could look at it and know that Chris Doyle probably was let go from his position. I'm sure there'd be some sort of financial settlement to let him go away. And the situation in the end worked out where he is not taking over, as many people believe he shouldn't have been taking over. All right, I want to thank our guest this week, the Falcons general manager, Terry Fontenot. Really enjoyed talking to him. Very impressive guy. I see why the Falcons hired him, and I go back to what I told them at the beginning. When I spoke to the Denver Broncos about their hire of George Payton as their general manager, they said, Adam, the one guy you also have to pay attention to here is Terry Fontenot. He was incredibly impressive, and they were right. Now I understand exactly what the Denver Broncos were talking about and what Arthur Blank saw in Terry Fontenot when he hired him away from the New Orleans Saints. Also want to thank my great producer, Christina Buswell, for putting up with me and putting this podcast together. And I want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in to another Adam Schefter podcast. Please join us again next week when we continue spinning on the quarterback carousel and get more information and insight from our latest guests. Thanks for listening this week. Be well and stay safe.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
You're going to ask a lot of LeBron James, and that's what makes you worried as a Lakers fan. You know, how does LeBron James keep his foot on the gas, but at the same time, how do you preserve him, getting him ready for another title run when the playoffs come along?
The Lakers will probably still be there along with the Clippers. I don't worry about it before All-Star break. If this was the month of May and you're having this conversation, then I'm like, okay. But right now, I'm not. I mean, Jay make it sound like we should just start preparing for the future.
No, whoa, I didn't say that.
But you make it sound like that we're just done.
No, the Lakers aren't done, but here's my concern. The more you ask LeBron James to do, I know he's a machine, but every once in a while a screw pops out of a machine.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, or on ESPN News. Janae and Golick Jr.
If Deshaun Watson were to choose Carolina, it would sort of be like what we see all the time on The Bachelor and on The Bachelorette. Will you get engaged to me so we can date for a little while and see if we actually want to do this? Like, they would have to kind of go through some of that. If you strip away some of the other teams, is Deshaun Watson desperate enough to leave Houston? Then he'd say, you know what, if that's my only option, I'm gone. Anything to get out of Houston.
Janae and Golick Jr. Weekdays at 4 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And now, watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Stream your favorite sports, stories, and series with ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Get all three for just $12.99 a month.
Tonight, the Vermillion boys are chasing history, trying to become the first team to win 20. Their name into more history, or is Canton going to upset the #1 team in the state? It's time for the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN. Good evening, welcome to it. Vermillion basketball back on the airwaves, and what is going to be a very exciting night for the Vermillion boys as they get ready to wrap up the regular season, wrap up Region 4, and also wrap up Dakota 12 action this season and get ready for postseason play with a lot that is still left to be determined what is going to happen when it comes to the Region 4 playoffs and where the Vermillion boys are going to fall. Now, as we speak of playoffs, playoffs. It is that time already as the Vermillion girls get ready for postseason basketball this week. In fact, they play tomorrow. Speaking of that, let's take a quick look at the Vermillion girls before we get back into the Vermillion boys on the pregame show. Vermillion, they finished at number 3 inside Region 4. It was tough at the top, but Dakota Valley walked away with the number 1 spot. 43.421 seed points, finished at 14-5 on the season, and behind them, .021 is what separated T and Dakota Valley from that number 1 spot. Again, T grabs number 2 spot, Vermillion number 3, Canton number 4, Lennox number 5, Elk Point number 6, and Beersford finished down in 7th. So the matchups will be T versus Beersford, Vermillion versus Elk Point Jefferson, and Canton versus Lennox, with Dakota Valley having that first round bye, and they will play the winner of either that Canton or Lennox game. Vermillion girls, as I mentioned, they are in action coming up tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will begin right around 6:30 with a look in on what that matchup is going to mean and how tough it will be for the Vermillion girls. Now, earlier this season, beat Elk Point Jefferson on the road 57-31, but that Huskies team has gotten a lot better towards the end of the season and will definitely be a tough draw for the Vermillion girls. All right, back into boys action. As we know, this is a chance to go 20-0 on this season for the Vermillion boys. What was coming into a very special season? Everybody back from a year ago. I guess 2 seniors left, including Sam Ward. How was Vermillion going to replace Sam? How would the Tanger boys come out and play just through a tough season, dealing with COVID-19 and everything that came with it? Well, the boys handled it with grace and handled it in stride, moving all the way to this mark of 19-0 on this season and getting some big victories. Last week, we talked about how tough of a schedule they had, playing 5 games in a matter of a week, and they walked away with 5 different victories, including over Lamar's, Beersford, Madison, Wagner, even a tough one against the Flandreau Flyers just the other night, 65-49. They came out on top. It has been their defense that has led them all the way through. In fact, you go back to Dakota Valley, on February 9th is the last time Vermillion has given up 60 points or more. They've only given up 60 points twice this season, against Dakota Valley and against Del Rapids. Otherwise, they hold teams to an average of 43 points a ball game, whereas Vermillion on the opposite side of that scores right around 65 points. So it's a big margin of victory that the Tangers always seem to be winning by, but that first to second quarter has been extremely close. As we know, so much is on the line tonight for the Vermillion boys to just make more history, but it could still come with a little bit of an asterisk to this season. Vermillion could finish at 20-0, but still fall down to the number 2 spot inside the region. In fact, right now, as we look at the standings, Vermillion is in that number 2 spot behind Dakota Valley, who is 17-2 on their season. One of their losses to Vermillion, but when it comes to playoffs and the seed points, Dakota Valley is slightly ahead by .158. Dakota Valley 46.158 seed points. Vermillion a strict 46. And the reason that is, and it's so confusing, but you look at Dakota Valley, the teams they play against, we talk about Sioux City East, Sioux City West, a couple other teams out of the state of Iowa, they get additional seed points for going up and playing teams higher in class. They got 49 points from that Sioux City East team, who finished 12-9 on their season. Should have been, in fact, 47 if they were the same classification. Same with the Sioux City West. They get 46 points out of that, as Sioux City West finished 9-10 on their season, but get additional points because they went up and played Sioux City teams considered 4A out of the state of Iowa. If you would drop them into the state of South Dakota, they would be considered a AA opponent. So there you go. That's how extra seed points are made for the Dakota Valley Panthers. They did that 3 different times this season, whereas Vermillion did just once. And Vermillion, they got 52 points after beating Lamar's 59-45. That was back on February 12th. What do we have coming up here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show? We'll talk more about those standings. Of course, we'll talk more about girls basketball. throughout the broadcast and get you ready for playoff action tomorrow night. And we'll catch up with head coach Jay Drake with a special conversation with Coach Drake as well, talking about not only the Canton Seahawks, but this senior class, as this is the final game at home for the Vermillion boys of the regular season, that is. And every time that happens, always like to talk about the seniors. It has been a special year with these 5 different seniors, including Connor Saunders, Jacob Dabney, Dylan Gestring, Cale Mockler, and Noah Gilbertson. That's all coming up here on the pregame show as we take a quick break, and when we come back, plenty more. Don't go anywhere on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
Call Farm Bureau agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
It's the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. Coming up here on the pregame show, we're going to talk more about the matchup tonight between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton Seahawks with head coach. Right now we have Coach Drake talking about something a little bit different. This is the final regular home game for the Vermillion boys. Now, very good chance they'll be playing at least 1, if not 2 games back here for the postseason before they wrap up their final couple of games. And, of course, the Vermillion boys are also chasing history tonight, trying to be the Dakota 12 champions, finish at 10-0 inside conference, and look to move to 20-0 on the regular season. And this has been a very special senior class. 5 seniors on this team that have led the Vermillion boys to this mark. What has it all meant as we highlight each one of the seniors right now with our special conversation head coach Jay Drake and I had talking about the 5 seniors on this team. Coaches, we highlight the seniors on this team. 5 of them, they have been outstanding the past few years for your team, and we're going to just go by numbers right down the list. So we begin with number 20, Connor Saunders. Connor has been an extraordinary player these past few years. It seems like you look back at his sophomore year, he was the man that could come off the bench and get a lot of points for your team. With injuries that happened this year, he's played more of that kind of assist man role. What has it been about Connor being able to adapt and still be a big piece to this senior class?
Yeah, he's just been, he's steadily improved. All these seniors, would probably say the same thing from the improvement, over the years, steady. I think of this year, when we lost Charlie Ward, we felt going into the year with Connor and Charlie kind of have both guys can kind of be combo guards, handle the point guard duties, and with Charlie out, it's put a lot more pressure on Connor to handle that, and he's really had a nice year, not just taking care of the basketball. He doesn't turn the ball over much. He gets us into our stuff, but he's shown that he can score the basketball at times, and probably the perfect example is our last game against Flandreau. We're struggling at times. They're doing a good job of denying Jacob Dabney, and Connor stepped up, was a little bit more aggressive, looked to attack the basket, and just been a solid worker, key kid for us, and, a big reason for our success the past few years.
I want to go right off that, as you mentioned, with Flandreau. What has it been with him that he's been able to step up in the moments when you need him the most, but at the same time, make sure he can still be kind of that silent leader on the team?
Yeah, he's a confident kid, and I think you see that in the different sports. He's a good football player, obviously a very good basketball player, and he's a good baseball player in the summertime too. And kind of one sport leads into the other, and he does his role well. He's averaged around 10 points this year, but he's had games, in some of our bigger games too. I think of the Christian game and, Dakota Valley Dells, where he came out, scored probably more points than his average would show, and he just steps up in big moments. He's not afraid of the big moment. He's not afraid to take big shots or tough shots. He hit a huge shot to kind of seal the game against Del Rapids late. I think back even last year in the Sodak 16, we were down 14, and then we're making a comeback, and then he hit a huge three to cut it to 1 with like 3.5 minutes to go, and he's just a confident kid, not afraid to step up in big moments.
He is the head coach of the Vermillion boys, Jay Drake. I'm Heath Nimke as we continue to have our special conversation talking about the 5 seniors of the Vermillion Tanagers. Our next senior is Jacob Dabney. I remember going into this season, Jacob was that phenomenal player that has a lot of speed, but we said going into the season, let's see him finally step up, be more of a leader into those bigger roles, have big games, and he has been the consistent point scorer this season. Where did that Jacob come from last year into this year?
Yeah, the big thing with him is just consistency. He showed signs and moments over the last few years. Obviously, we started him, he came off the bench to start his sophomore year, and about 5-6 games into the season, we moved him into the starting lineup, and like a lot of young kids, he had moments and he saw a lot of potential, but he also got frustrated at times, and last year he took the next step and was a third-team all-conference player, but still was a little bit up and down. And the big thing this year is just he's been consistent. Game 1 through game 19-20 here, it's kind of been the same guy. Mentally, he's been locked in. He doesn't get rattled, and you expect that with all these seniors. As experience helps, and you've seen things, and you've gone through the wars and the battles, and kind of learned from that. You just kind of play a possession at a time. But his consistency this year has obviously been a huge part of our success. And he has taken his game to the next level. There's no doubt about it. But what people don't see is the time he's put in the off season. Jacob puts a lot of time in, has put a lot of work into his game. And it's just nice to see a kid that puts in that much time to see it pay off during the season.
He has such a fiery passion as well. How were you able to tame that over the past couple of years?
Well, he's a unique kid in the sense that, off the court, he's kind of a quiet kid, and yet when he steps in between those lines and it's time to play the game, you can see the passion he plays with and a lot of enthusiasm and energy. And, I've compared him at times to kind of that wild stallion out in the open range and stuff, that you got to kind of take the good with the bad sometimes, but he does a lot of instinctual things that you just can't coach. And you got to kind of let him do his thing at times. And he's just the consistency he's done it with this year has been a huge part. And it's why he's had some individual success, but it's also helped to our team success.
Our next senior is very unique. Not only did he battle with sickness at the beginning of this season, he has gone through concussions throughout his life, maybe an even opportunity that he just doesn't want to play anymore. We don't see him on the football team. That is Dylan Gestreen. But he comes in, battling through sickness at the beginning of this season. He is the quiet big man, and we see a lot of big guys that make a lot of noise, are able to take care of a lot of things, but Dylan is quiet but still does everything right. What has it about Dylan that has kept him playing and also seeing his best basketball late this season?
Yeah, again, Dylan's just a great kid. He's a great student. He's had a lot of success in the classroom and with his academics, and he has a great attitude. He's a coachable kid. He does everything you ask, and is a silent leader from the stand. It's kind of just a great role model. Follow his actions. Might not always do it verbally and stuff, but if you just watch him, and it's great for our younger guys in our program, the last few years as freshmen, sophomores, to just see the way he goes about his business on a daily basis, both in practice and in games. And you're right, he's been starting for 3 years for us, sophomore, junior, senior year. He took a huge step from his sophomore year to his junior year last year and was a second-team all-conference player. Led us in scoring last year and in rebounding, and really had a tough luck. He was playing really good basketball late last year, and then had the concussion at the end of the Madison game, which people forget about it. It's hard to do. He had to sit out 2 weeks going into the postseason, missed about 3 games, And, you're missing on the other stuff, too, just the staying in shape, conditioning and all that, and then trying to come back in the postseason, and yet still helped us to get to the Sodex 16 and has been a huge part of our success over the last 3 years. And then to start this year, kind of battling some mono early on in the year, and, that wears on your body. He missed the first couple weeks and kind of slowly worked his way back. But he's a key when he's playing well. You get him and Jacob out there. We're a tough team to guard, and especially Dylan presents a lot of matchup problems because he can go inside, he can go outside. If you try to put a smaller guy on him, we can post him up. If you go with a bigger guy on him, he can go out on the perimeter, take him off the dribble, or shoot on the perimeter. So he's added a lot to our basketball team the last 3 years. But the best thing is, he's just a great individual and a great kid.
He is the head coach of the Vermillion boys, Jay Drake. I'm Heath Nimke as we continue to have our special conversation talking about the 5 seniors of the Vermillion Tanagers. Also going off of Dylan, how big does he need to be if you want to make a deep run into the postseason?
Yeah, he's a huge part of what we're trying to do, just from matchups, trying to isolate him at times. Got to have him rebounding for us. But, all these guys, everyone's kind of got a role on the team. And obviously when we're looking from a scoring standpoint or just offensively, we're leaning on Jacob and Dylan a lot. And those two guys got to step up for us a little bit. And we expect them to in the postseason. I think they know themselves what they expect, and that's their expectations to help lead and guide our team and give us what we need to hopefully have success.
This starting 5 boasts 4 seniors. It has been unique for your team over the past couple of seasons. We've only seen a total of 3 seniors in the past 2 years that have left your team. One senior, though, that is not in that starting 5 is Cale Mockler. How much have you appreciated him understanding his role and how big he has been this season?
Yeah, Cale has just kind of hung in there for 4 years now, and you look at him a couple years ago. He actually, as a sophomore, started the first couple of games of our season that year, and then we went with a little bit of a different lineup, and he's played a lot of JV minutes, obviously, and kind of spot minutes then from the sophomore, junior seasons. And yet he's just stayed steady. Again, another kid, very coachable, great attitude, wants to be a part of our team and our success and what we're doing. And it's just nice to see, a kid hang in there and stay with it from a rotation standpoint. And what he's given us this year has just been steady. He can come in, he can guard multiple positions. He shot the 3 very well for us off the bench this year, and we're not dropping off any at all when he comes in the game. He's just steady on both ends of the floor. He can handle the ball on the perimeter. He can go inside if we need to, and just happy for him to be able to see him have some individual success this year and help us out with our basketball team.
He is the head coach of the Vermillion boys, Jay Drake. I'm Heath Nimke as we continue to have our special conversation talking about the 5 seniors of the Vermillion Tanagers. We talk about Cale Mockler. He is, no offense to Cale, he is the biggest guy on the team. What is your thought process when you see him shoot a 3 coming off the bench and he just strokes it so silky smooth and is always hitting them? How impressive is that to see from him?
Yeah, from a coaching staff standpoint, we're really not all that surprised because it's what we've seen, in practice. The past few years, obviously in JV games, he's able to shoot that perimeter jump shot out there, and he's hit some timely ones for us this year, especially recently in big moments. And again, the nice thing about all 5 of these seniors is none of them shy away from big moments or the big shot or whatnot. I think Cale even, late first half against Lamar's at the buzzer there, stepping up and shoot huge 3 just to give us some breathing room and push it to the 7. He's had some games earlier in the season where he's hit some big 3s in crucial moments in the third quarter where the game's sitting there maybe 4 or 5 points and giving us some more breathing room. So they're all confident kids. They believe in themselves, but they believe in each other, and that's always fun. And the other thing is Cale adds a lot of just team energy and enthusiasm. I think our bench does a pretty good job, guys that aren't in the rotation, but a lot of that is just Cale kind of doing some things behind the scenes, being a vocal leader that way, and giving us a lot of energy and life on our team.
We want to talk about other silent guys. That would be number 50, Noah Gilbertson. He has always been quiet, but he's always had that passion to play basketball, and we have seen him throughout the years continuing to improve on his play. Now going in as a senior, he has been a big man, always been able to take charges in the lanes as well. How has it been Noah Gilbertson has just developed his skill over the past few years?
Yeah, another kid, he came off the bench as a sophomore and now has started the last 2 years for us. And, he's about 6'3", not the strongest kid in the world, but he can guard bigs, and he knows how to move his feet and get around in front of the post and does a good job post defense. And he's been great with just help defense. And, it's like you said, the number one thing that just proves that is he's our all-time man maker, taking charges. He's got the single-season record and the all-time career record. And he always seems to be in the right place at the right time, rotating over on the defensive end and taking charges. And those are game changers. People forget sometimes, like, if you can take a charge early in the game on the other team's best player, say they pick up just a regular foul on the other end defensively, and then you take a charge, and now they got 2-3 fouls. It changes the way that kid wants to play. It gets our team closer to the bonus. It just it shows the other team that, hey, if you want to take the ball in the paint and penetrate, we're willing to step over and take charges. So he's helped set the tone on the defensive end, and that's where we lean on in our program is the defensive end. And then on the other end, another kid that as the 3 years have gone, he can post up some, but he's actually, very good away from the basket. And he's another kid that can step out and shoot the three and space the floor and really keep things in the other team. Earlier this year in the T game, we got off to a quick start, but the big reason was Noah hit a couple threes early in the game, and basically the Ellenson kid, the big boy from T, not used to having to guard someone out there, didn't come out far enough, and Noah's capable of knocking shots down and got us off to a good start. So, again, he's not afraid of the big moment, with all these kids, and that's the nice thing with these seniors. Noah led us in scoring and rebounding last year in our Sodak 16 game at the Pentagon versus Dells, and, he's averaged 9-10 points this year as well, and has had games in the high teens, and it's nice when you have, guys out there that, even though we might lean heavily at times on Jacob and Dylan, we've got other guys that all can score the basketball and do it on any given night, and that helps us out.
How tough is it going to be to lose these seniors?
It's hard. The one thing in high school coaching is, you obviously develop relationships. It's fun to watch kids. I think of this group when they came in as freshmen. We knew they were a decent group, a good group, but you never know for sure. We kept them together. That was A.J. Plitzawhite's senior year, and, some could have made the case that a couple of these guys could maybe have played a little bit as a freshman, but we wanted to kind of keep this group as a C team, and they had a very good year that year at 15-2, and then, some of those guys got some JV minutes as well that year, and then obviously the following year as sophomores, most all these guys were either playing, starting in the rotation, and helping us out, and they've done that for 3 years now. So we hope we have another month with them here, but you don't know, and that's something as a coach you have in the back of your mind. You never want to say goodbye to these kids, and we're proud of what they've done. We're proud of what they've accomplished, but we're just proud of what they've stood for in our program, and they're exactly the type of young men we hope to have every year in our program, and not just by the success they've had on the court. That's all just kind of a bonus there, but they've represented themselves, their family, our program, our school, and our community very well.
Once again, that is head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys talking about the 5 seniors on this team that have led Vermillion now to 19-0 on the season, as tonight they are trying to set the school record of 20 consecutive wins in a row. Has never been done before yet here at Vermillion High School. It was done twice, back once in the 1970s, once in the 1980s at 19, but never to 20 We're going to take a quick break here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show. Talk a little bit more with head coach Jay Drake about the history that's on the line tonight and also highlighting the Canton Seahawks, as this is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show. Head coach Jay Drake continues on with our Canton Seahawks conversation next.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
Call Farm Bureau agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
When it comes to your healthcare, you need a partner for life. And the family medicine team at Sanford Health Vermillion Clinic is here for you. With expertise in preventive care, disease management, and urgent care, our family medicine team can take care of you throughout your life, from birth to geriatrics. To schedule an appointment, call Sanford Health Vermillion Clinic at 605-677-3700.
Fuller Digital Solutions started a little over 6 years ago doing Facebook Live videos for a couple ball games. And little did we know we'd have the 2020 pandemic and so many reasons for doing live streams on our new YouTube channel. We have 12 schools we cover from Mississippi, Iowa, and right here in South Dakota. If you're interested in working with FDS as a camera operator or play-by-play for the many sports we cover, or if you would like to use our services to live stream your event, email us at fullerdigitalsolutions@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Lavin. I'm the owner of Davis Pharmacy in Vermillion, South Dakota. Vermillion is becoming a very proactive community. I mean, we've seen some really good development occurring. We've got some new areas for new homes that have come up. And like I said, the number of shops that are now occupied. I mean, you drive down Main Street and Main Street is full again. It really is, because it is a very family-oriented town.
You'll discover your next opportunity when you discover the region's bridge to a better life. GreaterYanktonLiving.com.
You may not think of the flu as a serious disease, but complications can lead to severe illness, hospitalization, and even death. Flu shots are recommended annually for everyone over the age of 6 months. Flu vaccines are available at Vermillion Medical Clinic by appointment only. Call 605-624-8643 to schedule a flu vaccine. Protect yourself and your loved ones this flu season. Get a flu shot today. Learn more at yanktonmedicalclinic.com/flu. So much care, so close to home.
Back on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN Radio. Just got done hearing from head coach Jay Drake talking about his senior team and how much of a team they have been and how exciting this season has been as well. Again, 19-0 on the season. Tonight they can set the school record for most consecutive wins, trying to make it 20-0 and also be the outright Dakota 12 champions. But first they have to get past through a Canton Seahawks team that has taken some tough blows this season, including as of late a big couple of injuries that they've had to deal with, and also just continuing to develop a very young team this Seahawks team is, and again just working through everything and also getting ready for postseason, as this is the final game for the Canton Seahawks as well before we begin region playoffs for Canton, for Vermillion, for all of Class A coming up next week. We join once again with head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys talking about this matchup tonight against the Canton Seahawks. Here he is. Coach, talking right away about this Canton Seahawks matchup, and of course, as you know, and as the entire town of Vermillion knows, a lot of history that is on the line for tonight. Let's begin there. How exciting is this matchup? Not only a chance to win the Dakota 12, become the champions, but also set the new single win record for the school at 20 games. How excited are you to maybe make history tonight?
Yeah, it's exciting for our guys, obviously. You know, the biggest thing is, number one, you're just trying to win a basketball game, but a win tonight would mean we're the outright DAC 12 conference champs, would finish 10-0, and then You look at, when you're talking history, our win against Landry the other night, we tied the consecutive wins record for a season at 19. The 1977 and 1987 teams both won 19 in a row during their respective seasons. So we tied that the other night, and this would make a new school record of 20 wins in a row, and would be the second Vermillion High School boys team to have an undefeated regular season. The 1977 team went 17-0 in the regular season, and then obviously won 2 games to get the state. And went on to state, finally lost the game, their first 2 there, but got 7th place and finished 20-2 that year. So just to be the second team to be undefeated, obviously DAC-12 conference champs, and then, to set the consecutive wins record, that's all something that our guys should take great pride in, and I think they're excited, and got to go get a win first.
As you mentioned, the Canton Seahawks, a team that has been kind of battling through injuries through the late part of this season, right now at 7-12. They've put together a couple wins late against Centerville, Irene, Wakanda, but when it comes against Class A teams, that's kind of a different conversation. They don't find a whole lot of wins. What can you tell us about the Seahawks?
Yeah, Coach Beckner's in his second year. They work hard. They do a nice job. You're doing a good job with that group. They lost some key players from last year, obviously, starting with the Burley kid, who was an all-stater for a few years, but they had 3 other seniors that they had in their starting lineup last year with Burley, and they had a real nice team last year. The 2 Teesons out on the perimeter can both shoot the basketball and score. They got the big boy inside, Vanderweerd. And he's a load. He reminds me a lot of a younger version of the Ellington kid from T. But they're 7-12. They're 1-8 in the conference. They've kind of been a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at times. A week or so ago they played Madison very tough up at Madison. Ended up losing by 10, but was right in that ball game. But then came back with a game at West Central where West Central got them pretty good. So, like anything, we've got to kind of take care of ourselves and you go into these games. Obviously they'll be excited and a chance to knock us off and number 1 team give us the first loss, and we've got to try to just get after them early and not give them life, and hopefully just to make things hard on them. Looking at they're still in a situation too. We're still in a sense battling for the 1 seed. Probably need some things to happen this week, but we got to get a win first and take care of us. And they're in a situation where they're kind of in a battle between the 5, 6, 7 seeds with them, EPA and Beersford, that really could go any way right now. And I'm sure they're looking for a win to hopefully be a 5 seed.
Yeah, you talk about how close that region standings are, and still a lot to happen for this week, and games coming up later on this week to pay attention to and watch for. I want to go back to something else you mentioned just a moment ago, and that was jumping out early. What does that look like for your team? As we've seen these last couple of games, teams are coming out and giving you their best punches right away. How do you want to put Canton away in those first 3 minutes?
Yeah, you just never know how a game will go and the flow of it and what it'll look like. I think of even early last week, Wagner and us, neither team scored the first 2-3 minutes of the game, and then we finally stuck, not that it was always pretty, but we took a 12-0 lead with about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes left in the first quarter. We didn't finish off the quarter, though, and they finished 7-0 in the last 1.5 minutes to cut it to 12-7. And, you're kind of giving a team hope or life doing that. Obviously, we had a really good second quarter. But, the big thing with our group is just stringing together stops. We can't always guarantee the offensive end or what it'll look like. We've been pretty consistent all year long, getting into the 60s, 70s. I think we've only had 2 games, the Lamarck's game at 59, and I think the West Central game 54, where we didn't score at least 60-some points. So when they happen, it's been at different times. We've had slow starts offensively. Lately, we've had some pretty good third quarters offensively, but the big key is just getting stops and not letting the other team get in a flow offensively and getting confidence.
Once again, that's head coach Jay Drake. In our extended conversations tonight, earlier, if you missed out, we caught up with him and talked about the 5 seniors in a very special interview, including Connor Saunders, Jacob Dabney, Dylan Gestring, Kale Mockler and Noah Gilbertson, those 5 phenomenal seniors, have led this team to a 19-0 mark. They have tied the school record for most consecutive wins. Can they break that tonight against the Canton Seahawks, make it number 20, and finish the regular season without a blemish in the loss column? And if they win tonight, they're the Dakota 12 champions. Or do the Seahawks play spoils tonight and get the upset over the Vermillion Tanagers? Coming up next, we have our starting lineups, and we get even closer to tip-off between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton Seahawks here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
Call Farm Bureau agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Dr. Tom Olson is the name you have come to trust in the Vermillion area. If you are looking for a healthcare facility for those you care about most, join our healthcare family at Olson Medical Clinic. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Tom Olson, call 624-5666. After hours, call 624-8777. Today's comprehensive medicine with yesterday's personalized care at Olson Medical Clinic, 1330 East Main Street in Vermillion. Or visit Olson Medical Clinic on the web at www.olsonmedicalclinic.com.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen, just in time for football season, and the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Dick Sunday Vermillion sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Dick understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Dick Sunday in Vermillion for your home and auto insurance today.
Back at the Vermillion High School as we get you set for this matchup in Region 4 and DAC 12 play tonight between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton Seahawks, as we've heard so far on our pregame show, and a crowd that is starting to build even more and more inside the Vermillion High School. History that is on the line tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers, trying to break the school record of most consecutive wins as the Vermillion boys go for 20 wins in a row, going against a very tough Canton Seahawks team, as the Seahawks right now 7-12 overall, 1-4 inside Region 4, 1-8 in the DAC 12. And as we just heard, though, from head coach Jay Drake, a lot still on the line tonight for the Canton Seahawks, as it is very close inside that region when you look at the top 3 spots, and then after that, where teams fall 4 through 7. Again, when you look at it for boys action right now, even with 2 losses, Dakota Valley is in first with seed points over Vermillion at 46.474, 17-2 overall. The Panthers, Vermillion at 46.158, 19-0 on the season. Otherwise, T's down there in third, Lennox right now in fourth, Elk Point Jefferson in fifth. Canton has fallen all the way down to 6th, and Beersford right now at 7th. But when you look at the points that separate Lennox and Beersford, it is just 1.6 seed points that separate 4th from the 7th. So very, very interesting. As I mentioned, still a lot to play for inside this region, and what the postseason is going to all build up to be and come trickling out coming up in a week's time on Tuesday. Right now it's time for our national anthem with the pride of Vermillion. That's the sound of the Vermillion Tanagers as we get you set now for tip-off in our starting lineups. As you see it right now on our video stream, the lights are off, and it just builds up even more right now. Representing one Tanager out there, Josh, as he bowled a 300 just the other night, as again they give his appreciation, which is impressive. Bowling a 300, I think my highest score ever in bowling might be a 150, and that's pushing my luck. All right, let's take a look at our starting lineups for both the Canton Seahawks and the Vermillion Tanagers. We will start with the visiting Seahawks. Tonight it will be number 3, Derek Teason, the 6-foot sophomore guard. Number 4, Lance Teason, the 6-foot senior guard. Number 5, Jacob Vanderweerd, the 6'7" sophomore center. Number 13, Matthew Langrock, the 6'2" sophomore forward. And number 14, Peyton Eben, the 6'1" junior guard for the Canton Seahawks. Tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers, it will be the usual starting 5 that they have had all season long. And it has been great seeing these 5 seniors, again, 4 out of the 5 seniors in the starting lineups for the Vermillion Tanagers. The only senior that is not is Cale Mockler, but he comes off the bench and shoots the ball so darn well. Again, the starting 5 tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers will be number 20, Connor Saunders, the 6-foot senior shooting guard. Number 22, Jacob Dabney, the 6-foot senior small forward. Number 24, Dylan Gestring, the 6'5" senior center. Number 32, Jake Jensen, the 6'2" junior point guard. And number 50, Noah Gilbertson, the 6'3" senior power forward. The Tanagers are coached by Jay Drake in his 13th season. And also, something else a little interesting, Tanager fans, for the first time this season, dressing is the quarterback, Charlie Ward. Again, he tore his ACL, and the very last football game was expected to be a very big piece of this basketball team. Unfortunately, with that torn ACL, he was not able to play basketball, but again, they have dressed him for this evening. I have been told that if there happens to be an opportunity, maybe a free throw situation, they'll toss Charlie in just for a moment and then get him back out. But again, it's just having that feel of having him back in there. They introduced the starting 5 right now for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, tonight with our conversation with head coach Jay Drake, we spotted those 5 seniors. And again, the history that is on the line. If Vermillion wins tonight, they will be the outright DAC 12 champions. They will finish perfect inside the region. And more importantly, they will break the record held by 2 different teams, 1976-77 team and also 1986-87 team, for most consecutive wins. Both hold it at 19. This team has also tied that mark, but they're trying to break it, going for win number 20 tonight. The Canton Seahawks are in their away uniforms in all black with the numbers and letters that are in blue, outlined by white, with a gold and yellow stripe that runs down the side of their jersey and into the pants. The Vermillion Tanagers in their traditional white uniforms, all white, numbers and letters that are in red, with the single red and black stripe that runs down the side of their jerseys and into the pants. The officials all give the head nod. The ball is in the air. It is won by the Canton Seahawks, and we are underway for the regular season finale for both these teams. A pass stolen away by Jacob Dabney, and Dabney will easily lay it up and in for 2. And Vermillion begins with the first 10 seconds of the ball game, a 2-0 lead. The Seahawks break the press, now try to make a pass over to Lance Teason, almost knocked away by Jake Jensen. Now underneath the lane, couple of attempts, missed there by Langrock, and finally rebounded by the Vermillion Tanagers. Quickly the opposite way, it's Dabney. He almost loses his dribble. Kicks it back out to Jake Jensen. Jensen, the pull-up shot, this one off the mark, and it's going to be stolen away by Noah Gilbertson. No foul call. Gilbertson reached in against Matthew Langrock in the back of the lane, but again, contact was made. Noah Gilbertson picks up his first personal and the first team foul. 2-0, 7-16 first quarter. Canton Seahawks shoot it all the way into the corner. Now pull-up three-pointer, this one off the mark, and falls easily into the hands of Jacob Dabney. Dabney quickly opposite way. Now over to a wide-open Connor Saunders. Bingo! Connor Saunders gets his first 3 points of the ball game, and it's Vermillion quickly up to a 5-0 lead. We're just a minute gone into this first quarter. Now a pass that's almost knocked away. Loose basketball finally picked up by the Canton Seahawks, but a pass that's too far in front of Derek Teason and will go out of bounds. A very young Canton Seahawks team. In fact, they only have 2 seniors on this squad this year. Kind of looking like a lot for Vermillion over the past couple of years and just building with this younger squad. Gilbertson, he shoots the corner 3. This one off the mark. Ball being knocked around, and somehow Gilbertson comes back up with it for the Vermillion Tangers. In the lane to Jake Jensen. Pull-up shot for him is knocked down. Vermillion has had 3 different scores. 2 points for Jacob Dabney and Jake Jensen, and a 3-pointer for Connor Saunders. It's all Tangers, 7-0, 6:22 first quarter. It's now in the far wing with the Canton Seahawks as they have it in the front court. Working it along that far side is Derek Teason. He puts up his shot, but it's going to be deflected away. Loose basketball picked up by the Canton Seahawks. Back out, top of the key. Eben shoots the 3 and knocks it down. A big 3-pointer for the Canton Seahawks. As they finally get their first points of the game, it makes it 7-3, 5:55 first quarter. Jake Jensen over to Dylan Gestring. Gestring bounce pass to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson tries to go up with the left hand. He can't finish it off. And the Canton Seahawks will pick it up quickly, moving it into the front court. Along the near wing, now controlled with Derek Teason. They work it down to Vanderweerd. Vanderweerd, he puts up his shot, this one off the mark, but the Seahawks get it right back. Another 3-pointer. This one is missed from Lance Teason, and it falls into the hands of Noah Gilbertson. Quickly the opposite way, it's the Vermillion Tangers. Back out to Dabney. Dabney shoots it over to Dylan Gestring. Gestring moves it to the corner with Jake Jensen. Pump fake once inside the perimeter. Jumper for him. Off the heel of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Noah Gilbertson gets it offensively. Back to the top with Dabney. Dabney pull-up jumper at the elbow. Leaves this one too strong, but somehow it helps off with the glass and falls back through. Jacob Dabney now leads all Tangers with 4 points in the ball game. 9-3. 3 minutes have escaped us in the first quarter. Down to Vanderweerd. Vanderweerd backs his way in, throws it off the glass, can't finish, gets back his own rebound. He can't finish the second time, and Vermillion finally comes up with a defensive rebound. Dribbling between the legs, it's Dabney. Tries to make a baseline pass to Noah Gilbertson, but this one's stolen by the Seahawks. Quickly opposite way. Down underneath the hoop, it's controlled with Derek Teason. He has to get it into the lane. It's thrown to his brother Lance. Lance has it stripped out of his hands by Connor Saunders, but it goes flying into the cheerleaders, and it will be out of bounds, controlled still with the Canton Seahawks after it last touched off of Jacob Dabney. Trying to get it off with a baseline feed, a pass that works to Vanderweerd, back out, 3-pointer, hit by Peyton Eben, and head coach Jay Drake wants a timeout. Seahawks, all 6 of their points have come from beyond the perimeter, but still a 3-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers, 9-6, as head coach Jay Drake is frustrated with his team, seeing some offensive rebounds right now that are not the way he likes to see it. Again, he wants offensive rebounds on his side, but not for the Canton Seahawks. Continues to preach to his guys. Vermillion 19-0 on the season. 9-0 inside the DAC-12. The Canton Seahawks right now at 7-12 overall, but more importantly, find themselves number 6 inside Region 4. If we were to happen to go to postseason play, it would be T-Area and Canton that would match up in that first round that comes up next Tuesday. But a lot is still going to happen here within the next 4 to 5 days when it comes to those Region 4 standings and where everything will fall at. Back into action. Vermillion Tangers have it with Connor Saunders bringing it across the timeline after the big 3-pointer from the Canton Seahawks. Again, just a 3-point lead for the Tangers. Still in Gestring, back out to Connor Saunders. Saunders to the top with Dylan. Dylan holding it head high, now over Jacob Dabney. Dabney splits a double team back out to Saunders. He squares up, 3-pointer, knocks it down once again. Connor Saunders has now hit 2 big threes. He has 6 points in the ball game. 12-6, 3:55 first quarter. The Seahawks, though, are doing a good job eliminating Jacob Dabney. But that's the one issue that Vermillion has been able to do with so many other teams is other guys can score. It's not just 1 or 2 players that the Tangers have. Now controlled with Derek Teason. Now underneath to Vanderweerd, and Vanderweerd is able to get it to go for his first 2 points. He's been battling underneath the hoop all night long, but finally sees that kiss go through. 12-8. 3:27 first quarter. Dabney to the top of the key with Jensen. Back to Dabney. Catch and shoot 3. This one off the mark. Ball tipped around. It's going to be grabbed for a moment by Connor Saunders, and then he has it poked away from him. Hand contact made by Derek Teason, and that'll be the first foul called on the Canton Seahawks. So both teams have one, and we'll see our first substitutions of the game for the Vermillion Tanagers. Of course, it's that usual substitution that we've seen all season long. Jake Jensen and Noah Gilbertson will exit. Cale Mockler and Nick Sorensen will enter. Speaking of Mockler, he holds on to it right now as we're back into action. Controlled by Gestring. Back behind to Mockler. Baseline feed to Gestring. Gestring splits a double team, uses the right hand, misses, but an offensive rebound is by Nick Sorensen, and then contact made by the Canton Seahawks trying to get the ball away from Sorensen as the Seahawks pick up 2 quick team fouls, with the first one called on Jacob Vanderweer. Saunders gets into Dabney. Back to the top, they work it with Cale Mockler. Now to the corner to Saunders. Shoots the 3, misses everything, but jumping in out of nowhere, Superman style, is Dylan Gestring. Lands on his feet, goes right back up with it, and Dylan gets his first 2 points. 16-8, 2:43 first quarter. And then there's a quick steal away by Vermillion, and Connor, I missed it when looking down, scores again. Connor now has 8 points. Look down for just a moment at my score sheet, and it was a quick steal and score for Vermillion. 3-pointer for the Canton Seahawks. This one's off the mark. Again, 16-8, 2:23 first quarter. Cale Mockler, he has it along the far wing, right in front of the Canton Seahawk bench. Now it's to Dabney. Dabney into the lane. Floater off the mark, and then foul called on Dylan Gestring as he went to tip it away from Vanderweer, and contact was made. They said Dylan disagrees as he shakes his head. Gestring picks up his first personal in the second team foul. Jake Jensen back into action as Dabney will take a spot on the bench. 16-8, 2:13 first quarter. Connor Saunders for the Vermillion Tanagers has as many points as the Canton Seahawks do right now, at 8. Seahawks finally get it into the front court with Lance Teason. Teason at the block, back to the top of the key, 3-pointer. This one is knocked down for Matthew Langrock. He now has 5 points in the ball game, 16-11, 1:50 first quarter. Canton Seahawks have not gone away in this one. They have never had the lead. 3-pointer now from Jake Jensen. This one off the mark and rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. Look, they bring it in the front court. Pull-up jumper for Derek Teason, and he knocks it down for his first points. And it's back to just a 3-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers, 16-13. Saunders spins away from one defender. Over to Cale Mockler. Down to Sorensen. Back out to Cale Mockler. Corner 3 for him. Bingo! Cale Mockler, his first points off the bench. It's the first points for either team off the bench, and Vermillion back up to a 6-point lead, 19-13. One of the highest scoring first quarters we've seen from Tanagers all season long. Now to Vanderweer. He gets some space, knocks down the shot. Jake Jensen goes up to block, can't do so. And Vanderweer will head to the free throw line, trying to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. 19-15, 1:04 first quarter. No doubt in my mind, I would never guess this Canton Seahawks team is 7-12, the way the offense has clicked so far. Try to complete the 3-point play. It's left short, and Vermillion gets the rebound. Back out to Saunders as they have it in the front court. To the top with Cale Mockler. Thought about shooting the 3, decides not to. Over to Dylan Gestring. His pull-up jumper along the baseline knocks down, and Gestring now has 4 points. All Tanagers have scored except for Noah Gilbertson. 21-15, 41 seconds remaining first quarter. Control with the Seahawks. Vanderweer has it, drives the baseline. Now makes the bounce pass to the near corner. Back to the top, Teason shoots it, misses everything. It will go out of bounds. Vermillion will have it. They'll be able to hold for the last second shot as Noah Gilbertson comes back in, and Dylan Gestring will take a spot on the bench. As I mentioned, Noah Gilbertson, the only starter not to score. He's also the only senior not to score as well. 21-15, 6-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers, 18 seconds and ticking. At the Tanager logo, it's Connor Saunders in the front court. Back to Jake Jensen. Jensen back to Saunders. Saunders puts down the left-hand dribble, back to right, now to his left hand. Over to Cale Mockler. Catch and shoot 3, misses everything, but Jake Jensen comes with the loose basketball. He goes up through contact, can't finish the shot, but he'll head to the free throw line. 0.5 remains, as we'll see 2 free throws upcoming for Jake Jensen, which will basically end this first quarter. Right now, Jacob Dabney is also dealing with a bloody nose. First free throw is knocked down by Jake Jensen. I've just seen him skirt back into the locker room to take care of his nose. 22-15. Jake Jensen trying to complete the second free throw. This one's up, knocks him down both. Jensen, 4 points in the ball game. Canton Seahawks will just get it in. The buzzer will go off, and that is end of quarter number one. 23-15. Canton Seahawks have gotten it within 3, but have never taken the lead in the ball game. We'll step aside. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
Thermobond Buildings, located in Elk Point, South Dakota, is proud to support this live stream for the Vermillion Tanagers. Thermobond manufactures buildings for a variety of industries, and we're currently looking for candidates to fill a number of production roles within the company. You can find an application on the website thermobond.com. Thermobond Buildings, proud to support the Tanagers.
Is any item for your business?
Vermillion Medical Clinic has an ongoing mission to provide areas with quality health care and convenient access to medical professionals. Our patients at Vermillion Medical Clinic value our dedicated primary care physicians, compassionate PAs, and consistently scheduled outreach specialty care. If you have health questions, need a screening, or have medical concerns for yourself or family members, call us for an appointment or visit vermillionmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
Back at the Vermillion High School, it's 23-15 as we begin this second quarter. The Vermillion Tanagers will begin with the basketball. Control with Jacob Dabney over Noah Gilbertson. He shoots the three, and that is how we begin the second quarter with a Noah Gilbertson three. Quickly like that, all Vermillion Tanagers have scored this evening, and all 5 seniors. And tonight we highlighted on our pregame show talking about the 5 seniors. Cool to see them all score. A baseline pass, trying to work it to Vanderweerd. This one's stolen away by Dylan Gestring. Gestring quickly underneath the hoop to Dabney. Dabney will go up through some contact. He pump faked once, waited till a couple defenders jumped in the air, then took advantage of that and is able to head to the free throw line. It's the 4th team foul called on the Canton Seahawks, and the second one now called on Matthew Anderson. First free throw knocked down by Jacob Dabney. Dabney with that now has 5 points in the ball game, including now scoring it in both quarters as well. Second free throw, this one's up. He makes them both. 28-15, 7:23, second quarter. Vermillion Tanagers begin quickly on a 5-0 run to start this second quarter. Control the Seahawks, the Tanager logo. Make the far wing pass. Back to the top, they work it with Lance Teasen. Teasen guarded closely by Connor Saunders. Kicks to Vanderweerd. Pull up three. Knocks it down. How about that from the big man? Jacob Vanderweerd is showing off his length. Now has 7 points in the ball game. Impressive three. Reminds you a lot of Dylan Gestring for the Vermillion Tanagers. So rainbow pass from corner to the far wing over Jacob Dabney. Making that pass was Noah Gilbertson. Bounce pass by Jake Jensen over to Connor Saunders. Saunders works through a little bit of arm contact. Now makes the pass back to Dylan Gestring, to Saunders, to Jake Jensen with 6 seconds. Jensen over Dabney as he falls down, puts up the shot, misses everything. Ball tipped around in the backcourt a little bit. Finally, the Seahawks have it on the near wing. Underneath the hoop, reverse layup easily for Matthew Langrock. He now has 7 points in the ball game. It's 28-20. And the Canton Seahawks find themselves on a little bit of a 5-0 run. Jensen dribble in between the legs, almost loses it, using his butt to make Teasen back off. Now over to Dabney. Dabney has the free throw line. Back over to Jensen. He shoots the three. This one off the mark. Battling for the offensive rebound is Noah Gilbertson, and he's able to get the body contact against Vanderweerd. Finish off the shot, and Noah Gilbertson has an attempt to finish off the three-point play. Unfortunate for Vanderweerd as he picks up his second personal and the 15th foul for the Canton Seahawks. But Noah Gilbertson can't complete the three-point play as he shoots it off the heel of the rim. pulled down by the Canton Seahawks. They work it down in the front court with Lance Teason. Teason loses his dribble as there's a fight for it on the hardwood between Teason and Saunders, and somehow Saunders comes away with it. Now pass up to Dabney as Gestring hits the floor. Dabney throws it off the side of the backboard. It's tipped around as the Canton Seahawks are down on guys. It's 5 versus 3. Vermillion can't take advantage of it. The three-pointer off the mark, but offensive rebound back up. Jake Jensen able to finish that one off. But again, the Canton Seahawks were looking for the fast break before Vermillion was able to get it back, and eventually did take advantage of that mistake by the Seahawks trying to play transition basketball. 32-20, 12-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers. It's Vanderweerd. He'll hand it right behind him to Eben. Eben back to Vanderweerd. The sophomore, he's going to be great here in the next couple of years. He'll be a monster inside the DAC-12. He has the top of the key. Now working over to Langrock. He'll shoot the three. This one just off the mark, but offensive rebound for Derek Teason. Teason drives the baseline, throws up the runner, gets it to fall. Derek Teason, his first 2 points. And now another timeout is going to be called by head coach Jay Drake. We'll step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. You're listening to Tanger Basketball on ESPN, along with Fuller Digital Solutions. We're back in 30.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
In a quarter that usually sees the Vermillion Tangers put away some teams in the second quarter, the Canton Seahawks right now are trying to keep it in with their speed. 32-22. It's a 10-point lead for the Vermillion boys at the 4:28 mark in this second quarter. Vermillion has in the front court, pull-up jumper at the elbow for Noah Gilbertson, off the mark, rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. And here they come the opposite way with Eben. Handed off now to Lance Teason as he brings it back to the top. Teason over into the near corner to his brother Derek. Back out to Lance. Lance will shoot the three. This one off the mark, but a rebound by the sophomore, Derek. Derek still has it, working closely against Connor Saunders. Now a three-pointer. This one knocked down for Peyton Eben as he hits his second three of the ball game, making it 32-25. Dabney using the left-handed dribble. Now pick it up, shoot it over to Connor Saunders, who has it near wing. Back to Dabney, over to the far wing with Jake Jensen. To the top of the key with Cale Mockler. To Dabney, to Gilbertson along the baseline. Gilbertson drives underneath the hoop, now uses the left-handed hook shot right in front of a couple Seahawks and is able to get it to fall. 7 points now for Gilbertson, all coming in this second quarter, 34-25, and now a pass. Gilbertson knocks out right in front of the Vermillion faithful. Good crowd on hand once again tonight, as who's ever made it into the Vermillion High School. If you're watching here online and listening on radio, have a chance to see some history. If the Vermillion boys can get the win, they will set the school record for most consecutive wins. Right now they're tied with two other teams from the 70s and 80s with 19 consecutive wins. Vermillion trying to finish off their regular season at 20-0. It has been a very, very special season. Controlled by the Canton Seahawks. They're trying to play spoils, though, tonight. In the far corner, the drive. Back out, they work it to Lance Teason. Now back to drive with Anderson. Pull-up jumper. This one's off the mark as he had to fight through the arms of Nick Sorensen just to see the hoop. Now up to Dylan Gestring. He blows by one defender, and Gestring easily lays it off the glass. He's got 6 points in the ball game. 36-25, 2:43 second quarter. A quick three. This one's left short for Peyton Eben. Rebounded by Jacob Dabney. Dabney quickly behind the back dribble. Now splits a double team at the low block and somehow just reaches up to heaven and throws it off the glass. Dabney now 8 points so far this evening, 38-25. Vermillion Tangers, in fact, have a few different guys who are starting to score big. It's been all their seniors, really. It's control with Eben. We'll hand it off now to Derek Teason. Teason into the lane, using the hook and score there. scoop and score there from Derek Teason. He has 4 points in this second quarter, 38-27, and another timeout that is going to be used by head coach Jay Drake, I believe. We'll step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. You're listening to Tanager Basketball on ESPN. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Back here at the Vermillion High School, 38-27, 2:10, second quarter. As the Vermillion Tanagers have seen a couple different guys now hit the mark of 8 points this evening, but no Tanager has hit double figures. Connor Saunders has 8 points, all coming in the first quarter. Jacob Dabney also at that mark with 8 points. Cale Mockler, though, as we're back in action, has it in the front court along the far wing. Holding it above his head. Pump fakes a three. Now to Dylan Gestring. Gestring in the lane, goes up through a couple of Seahawks and is able to get it to fall. Dylan Gestring now has 8 points this evening. So 3 different Tanagers at 8 points. Again, nobody has hit double figures. And with that, a steal, a throw up to Dabney, and Dabney will finally hit double digits with 10 points. 42-27, as the Vermillion Tanagers starting to pull away a little bit. Now underneath the Vanderweerd, he goes up strong right in front of the face of Cale Mockler and finally ends the 8-0 run that the Vermillion Tanagers found themselves on. 42-29, 1:18, second quarter. Saunders throws off the glass. He leaves it short, and a rebound by the Seahawks. Quickly up to Lance Teason. Teason tries to make a pass over to Anderson, but a charge taken by Nick Sorensen, and a foul again called on Lance Teason. That's now the 6th team foul on the Canton Seahawks, and that will be the first one called on Lance Teason. Quick substitution as Peyton Eben is out of the game. Matthew Langrock in for the Canton Seahawks. 42-29, 1:09, second quarter. Coming up on the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show, we'll be talking more about high school hoops in the playoffs tomorrow night for the Vermillion girls. Saunders, three-pointer. He leaves this one short, rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. Seahawks quickly get in the front court. Now corner three, this one off the mark for Anderson. Rebounded by Connor Saunders. Saunders up to Dabney quickly. Dabney inside the lane. Goes through 2 defenders, misses his shot, but picked up by Nick Sorensen. And Sorensen is able to lay it off the glass for his first points off the bench. 44-29. 30 seconds remaining in this first half. Top of the key, it's Teason. Now over, three-pointer for Langrock. This one off the mark. Rebound by Dabney. And the Vermillion Tanagers can now hold for this last second shot of the first half. 44-29. 14 seconds and ticking. Dabney over to Connor Saunders, who holds it belt high. Will now put down the right-handed dribble. Gets a couple of screens. Now picks up the dribble with 4 seconds. Over to Cale Mockler. Underneath to Dabney. Dabney fadeaway jumper. This one's off the mark. The buzzer goes. That's the end of the first half as the Vermillion Tanagers, they lead it over the Canton Seahawks 44-29. We'll step aside and we'll be back here in just a little bit on the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
So we're buying a bigger home.
A 4-bedroom, but, with room to grow.
Your ocular cavity is malfunctioning.
Because we want kids.
Calculating offspring life insurance.
No, wait. We only have a cat.
Calculating farm insurance.
Is there somebody else who can help us?
Only a human who knows you can create a plan that's right for you. That's why for 80 years we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau Agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
With help from Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion.
Radio
radio family is growing. Now you can listen to all of the Vermillion Tanagers broadcast on 2 stations, 101.5 FM and AM 1570. When the Tanagers are playing, tune in to either 101.5 FM or AM 1570 to catch the voice of the Tanagers, Heath Nimke, for every play. In addition, we invite you to listen to all of our ESPN programming. We thank you for listening and our radio sponsors that allow us to broadcast all of the Vermillion Tanager sports on ESPN, 101.5 FM and AM 1570.
Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle fast and make it look like the accident never happened. Blaine's Body Shop will even deal with your insurance adjuster to make sure you aren't hassled. Don't ignore dents and dings. Instead, bring your vehicle into
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Here's a hot deal on something that's really good for you. Asparagus, $1.47 a pound this week. Fresh Verlasso Atlantic salmon fillets, farm-raised, only $6.98 a pound. Peaches and nectarines, $1.97 a pound. And Hy-Vee boneless, skinless chicken breasts, $1.89 a pound at Hy-Vee Vermillion. Thank you for shopping safely and saving money today at your hometown Vermillion Hy-Vee.
When it comes to your healthcare, you need a partner for life. And the family medicine team at Sanford Health Vermillion Clinic is here for you. With expertise in preventive care, disease management, and urgent care, our family medicine team can take care of you throughout your life, from birth to geriatrics. To schedule an appointment, call Sanford Health Vermillion Clinic at 605-677-3700.
This is the Saunders Chiropractic Halftime Show on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. As right now at halftime, the Vermillion boys lead it over the Canton Seahawks 44-29. And what has been a very balanced scoring attack for the Vermillion Tanagers. At the end of one, it was 23-15, but another big second quarter by the Vermillion Tanagers, but a good second quarter by the Canton Seahawks, but so hard to score when Vermillion has such that balanced scoring. Let's take a look at the first half scoring for both teams. We'll start with the Canton Seahawks right now, led away with Jacob Vanderweerd. He has picked up 2 fouls, but does have 9 points in the ball game. Matthew Langbrock right behind him was 7 points. Peyton Eben has had a quiet 6 points so far this night. Otherwise, 4 points for Derek Teason, and then just 2 points for Lance Teason. No one has scored off the bench for the Canton Seahawks. For the Vermillion Tanagers, only one has hit double figures tonight. It's been Jacob Dabney with 10, but 8 points for Connor Saunders, all coming in that first quarter. 8 points for Dylan Gestrine, 7 points for Noah Gilbertson, who got all 7 of his points in the second quarter. 6 points for Jake Jensen, 3 points for Cale Mockler, and 2 points for Nick Sorensen. So all 7 players who have played so far tonight for Vermillion have scored. But again, you look at that starting 5, the lowest one on scoring is Jake Jensen with 6 points. The highest one, Jacob Dabney, with just 10 points. That's how impressive this balanced scoring has been for the Vermillion boys. It's 44-29. This is the Saunders Chiropractic Halftime Show. We'll step aside here for 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll talk some girls basketball that is coming up tomorrow as the girls begin postseason play. That's on the way here in 2 minutes on ESPN and Fuller Digital Solutions.
Started a little over 6 years ago doing Facebook Live videos for a couple ball games. Little did we know we'd have the 2020 pandemic and so many reasons for doing live streams on our new YouTube channel. We have 12 schools we cover from Mississippi, Iowa, and right here in South Dakota. If you're interested in working with FDS as a camera operator or play-by-play for the many sports we cover, or if you would like to use our services to live stream your event, email us at fullerdigitalsolutions@gmail.com.
I'm Matt Lavin. I'm the owner of Davis Pharmacy in Vermillion, South Dakota. Vermillion is becoming a very proactive community. I mean, we've seen some really good development occurring. We've got some new areas for new homes that have come up. And like I said, the number of shops that are now occupied. I mean, you drive down Main Street and Main Street is full again. It really is, because it is a very family-oriented town.
Discover the region's bridge to a better life. GreaterYanktonLiving.com.
You may not think of the flu as a serious disease, but complications can lead to severe illness, hospitalization, and even death. Flu shots are recommended annually for everyone over the age of 6 months. Flu vaccines are available at Vermillion Medical Clinic by appointment only. Call 605-624-8643 to schedule a flu vaccine. Protect yourself. Learn more at yanktonmedicalclinic.com/flu. So much care, so close to home.
Dr. Tom Olson is the name you have come to trust in the Vermillion area. If you are looking for a healthcare facility for those you care about most, join our healthcare family at Olson Medical Clinic. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Tom Olson, call 624-5666. After hours, call 624-8777. Today's comprehensive medicine with yesterday's personalized care at Olson Medical Clinic, 1330 East Main Street in Vermillion. Or visit Olson Medical Clinic on the web at www.olsonmedicalclinic.com.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment for We rent out and operate dozers, excavators. We also have aerial equipment.
Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix.
We got telehandlers, payloaders, skid loaders, just a lot of different equipment that we rent and we sell it too. And you can rent to buy. And you end up having it for 6 months. We'll give you a buyout option on that thing.
Call Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment. Vermillion. Easy to work with and not hard to find.
Sounding a little bit better for this evening. Again, at halftime right now, the Vermillion boys lead it over the Canton Seahawks 44-29. And again, thank you for letting us know that that stream did not sound quite right. We do appreciate getting that right for you this evening. Again, a balanced scoring attack from the Vermillion boys has led to this lead right now at halftime of 15 points, but it's not over with yet. Canton Seahawks can get going at any moment. Before we get back into the third quarter and get set for that second half, let's take a quick look at the playoffs that are coming up. More specifically in Class A, we take a look at that Region 4 as there is some great games that are coming up tomorrow night. Let's go through everything that will be happening, including the Canton Seahawks. Here in Vermillion, coming up tomorrow, the Vermillion girls will play against Elk Point Jefferson. That tip is set for 7 o'clock. We'll have our pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. We'll join with both head coaches, John Brooks and Adam Timmons of the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Talking about that matchup, you go back to earlier this season, Vermillion did get the win over Elk Point. Now, that was back all the way on January 19th in Elk Point, where the Vermillion girls got the win 57-31. And other games that are happening inside the region, the number 2 seed, T Area, will be taking on Beersford. Again, T finished just in second, right behind Dakota Valley. It was .021 that separated the Panthers and the Titans. But again, T Area will take on Beersford as Dakota Valley has that first round bye. And then the other big matchup to watch, of course, that 4 and 5 seed, which will feature Canton and Lennox doing battle. Again, that game will happen in Canton tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So Seahawks fans, get ready for some high school hoops at the gym tomorrow evening as you welcome in the Lady Orioles. That'll be another great matchup to watch. Now, the winners, how it's all going to break down, if it will say we're just going to take the top seeds, that's how we're going to do it right now. T will play Vermillion if both those two teams win, and then if Canton would beat Lennox, then it would be Dakota Valley taking on the Canton Seahawks. Again, that is how it would break out. And again, that's just taking the higher seeds. But of course, that is why we play the game. Anything can happen. And that is the Saunders Chiropractic halftime show as we get you set now for the second half of the boys game here tonight in Vermillion. Again, the Tanagers are chasing history tonight. They are tied right now with two teams from the 70s and 80s for most consecutive wins at 19. But if Vermillion can hold on right now at this point, they lead it by 15. If they get to 20-0 on the season, they will set that mark and also be the outright Dakota 12 champions. That's what's still on the line tonight as we begin this second half. The Canton Seahawks will begin with the basketball, moving from right to left as you see it, wearing their all-black uniforms, the Vermillion Tanagers, and their all-white uniforms. As a couple of quick steals begin this third quarter, a pass all the way up to Dylan Gestreen is knocked out of bounds from behind by Jacob Vanderweerd. It will be Vermillion basketball First 9 seconds gone, 44-29 as we're back in action. Quick inbounds pass, turnaround jumper off the mark for Noah Gilbertson, but offensive rebound going up through a little bit of contact. Dylan Gestring, he can't finish off his shot, but he'll head to the free throw line. Dylan looking to become the second tanager to hit double figures tonight. Again, Jacob is the only one at 10 points. Otherwise, two other tanagers at 8 points, including Dylan, but he misses the first free throw, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for him. 44-29, 17 seconds already gone into this second half. Second free throw. This one's off the mark as Gestring misses them both, but fights for it back. Ball being knocked around. Who's it going to say it went out of bounds on last? They say last touch by the Canton Seahawks. The ball drifted all the way back to the timeline, and reached in there was Lance Teason and Connor Saunders, both trying to fight for it back. They say it went last off Lance, and it'll be Vermillion basketball. So even after the missed two free throws from Dylan Gestring, the Tanagers still have an opportunity to score. Jake Jensen passes back out to Connor Saunders, over Dylan Gestring to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson along the baseline, spin move back out to Dabney in the corner three. This misses everything but falls right into the hands of Dylan Gestring. Right spot, right time, and Dylan lays it easily off the glass as he hits double figures at 20 points this evening. 46-29, 7:02 third quarter. A pass by Teason, and he runs right into Connor Saunders, putting his shoulder into him. Ball goes out of bounds. It will stay, though, with the Canton Seahawks as they last touched by Dabney. 46-29, 6:59 third quarter. The Seahawks control it, top of the key, working with Derek Teason, and a hip check going to be called on Jacob Dabney. Has been a lot of contact between these two teams all night long, but this time a foul called. It's the first one on Jacob, the first team foul on the Vermillion Tanagers. Tanagers only picked up 3 team fouls in that first half. Lance Teason shoots it over to Anderson. Now they'll work it to the far wing, trying to get down to Vanderweerd, but Dylan Gestring all over Vanderweerd, just pops it up in the air on the high pass, and it falls into the hands of Jake Jensen. Vermillion Tanagers come quickly opposite way with Dabney. Moves by one defender, lays it up and in with his right hand, and Jacob now 12 points this evening, 48-29, 6:20 third quarter. Pass by Teason. Now over, trying to make it to Derek Teason, but it's going to be stolen away by Connor Saunders once again. Another steal for the Vermillion Tanagers. Now underneath to Gilbertson, and Gilbertson gets fouled from behind. He, in fact, got shoved as he was going to go up with a shot. They do say he was in the motion of shooting, so he'll head to the free throw line. The foul is called on Matthew Langrock, picking up his first personal in the first team foul. And Gilbertson able to knock down the first free throw, giving him now 8 points this evening. 49-29, 6:10 third quarter, and with this second free throw made, it's a 21-point lead, the biggest, and now trying to get the quick steal and score. Another foul immediately called on the Canton Seahawks as Dabney came up with the steal, then got shoved over. And again, they will call now a technical on the Canton Seahawks, and it will send Jacob Dabney to the free throw line. The technical will be called on Lance Teason as he wants an explanation. Or excuse me, it was called on Derek Teason. Picking up now his second foul, and the third team foul on the Canton Seahawks of this third quarter. So technical free throws upcoming for Jacob Dabney as he misses the first one. 50-29, 6:08 third quarter. Second free throw here in just a moment. It's up, knocks it down. Dabney now 13 points. And with the technical, again, Vermillion will now get the basketball back. So it's 2 free throws and then the ball, as it was the Canton Seahawks who were trying to inbound it when they picked up that technical. I believe taking a spot now on the bench, yes, as Derek Teason checking back in the ball game, will be Peyton Eben for the Seahawks. 51-29, 2 minutes already gone in this third quarter. Controlled with Jake Jensen. Over to Connor Saunders. Saunders back to Jake Jensen. The catch and shoot three. This one off the left of the iron, but rebounded by Jacob Dabney. guess not even really rebounded, just kind of fell into his hands. Dabney, now the catch and shoot three with the pass from Saunders. This one off the mark. Chasing after it is Jake Jensen. He can't quite come up with it before he goes out of bounds. A couple of coaches moved around on the Vermillion bench to get out of the way. Jake Jensen, not a big guy, but using his speed, that would hurt if he ran into you. 51-29, 5:33, third quarter. Anderson has it for the Canton Seahawks. Seahawks trying to get a little bit of offense going. Now controlled with Lance teasing. Dabney falls over. Lance goes up to block and is going to have his shot blocked away by Dylan Gestring, but the foul called. And it will send Lance to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 51-29, 5:24, third quarter. This one has kind of lost its urban flow here in the second half. Things move by pretty quickly in that first half. First free throw, this one rattles in and out for Lance Teason. He'll get a second opportunity. Both teams so far tonight have struggled from the free throw line. We're going to get a quick substitution. The official motioned over for it, but it looks like we're not going to get it. And now, second one is made, and that's because the substitution was for Lance shooting the free throws. He goes 1 of 2, 3 points for him in the ball game, and now coming in will be Vanderstroot for the first time tonight for the Canton Seahawks. Dabney lost the basketball, able to pick it back up, working to Connor Saunders. He goes up strong with the right hand, misses everything off the glass, and then I believe a rebounding foul. No, just went out of bounds on last touch by the Vermillion Tanagers. 51-30, 5:12, third quarter. Now a quick foul called in the backcourt as Jake Jensen tries to steal it away from Matthew Anderson. So Jake Jensen will pick up his second personal and the third team foul on the Vermillion Tanagers. Seahawks quickly get in the front court, the top of the key, and now a timeout going to be called by the Canton Seahawks. So we'll step aside. As we mentioned, this one having not a whole lot of flow, but we'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570, and along with Fuller Digital Solutions, back in 30.
Make space for tall items. Quickly and easily move the bins side to side for convenient storage options. The FlexiSlide bin, brought to you by Whirlpool.
To help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Dick Sunday in Vermillion for your home and auto insurance today.
Back here at the Vermillion High School, it's a quick turnover inside the lane for the Canton Seahawks. 4:50, third quarter. Again, it's a 21-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now contact is made against the Canton Seahawks, trying to steal away from Jacob Dabney. And the foul again called on the Seahawks, picking up now their total of the fourth team foul here in this third quarter. Back in action, Saunders has it. To the top with Dabney. Dabney inside the lane, skips by one, but lays it off the glass too strong, but stealing it right back is Dylan Gestring. Now to Dabney. Dabney pump fakes Vanderweerd, and Vanderweerd is going to foul him, and Dabney is able to knock this one down. Dabney now with 15 points in the ball game, trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Unfortunately, that is foul number 4 now on Jacob Vanderweerd. And the second one, or excuse me, to complete the three-point play, that one's good from Dabney. 16 points for him this evening. 54-30, 24-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. It is their biggest lead. Seahawks work inside the perimeter, and then trying to steal it away from behind is Dabney, and another foul called. Dabney will pick up his second personal, fourth team foul for the Vermillion Tanagers, and now checking out will be Dabney. Canton Seahawk basketball along the baseline after the foul, working into Vanderweerd, pull up in the corner, this one off the mark, and then battle for the rebound. It gets thrown up in the air as a couple of guys go crashing into that back wall. Both walk away all right of Dylan Gestring. Jacob Vanderweerd, they say it's last touch by Jacob, so it will be Tanager basketball. 4:15, third quarter. It's controlled with Saunders. Over to Cale Mockler, to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson to Jake Jensen, to Cale Mockler, right in front of the student section. Mockler along the baseline, back out to Saunders. Saunders to Jake Jensen. He thought about the catch and shoot three. He drives inside the lane, puts up the shot, misses everything, but underneath the hoop there to save it was Noah Gilbertson. Missed shot, tipped back out by the Vermillion Tangers. It's to Cale Mockler. He uses the left hand. He can't knock it down, and finally rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. Seahawks trailing by 24, looking for some sort of offense. Anderson to corner three. This one misses everything. Rebounded by Jensen. Jensen the dribble behind the back. Across the timeline. Now to Saunders. Over to Cale Mockler. Mockler down to Dylan Gestring. Gestring back over to Gilbertson. He'll shoot the near corner three. Knocks it down. Noah Gilbertson. Now 12 points. The third Tanger to hit double figures this evening. 57-30. 3-12. Third quarter. Seahawks have it. Pull up, and this one is going to be called a foul as Saunders makes contact with Vanderstroot, and it will send Vanderstroot to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Saunders picks up his first personal in the 15th foul on the Tangers after they just gave up 3 in that first half. First free throw is knocked down, and that is also the first points off the bench tonight for the Canton Seahawks. That's how much they have struggled on offense, especially in this third quarter. In fact, that's just their second point. Trying to make it number 3. This one off the mark. So just 2 points for the Canton Seahawks in this third quarter. Both coming from the free throw line. Cale Mockler, pull up 3 for him. Knocks it down once again. Cale Mockler, another big 3 for the senior. 60-31. It's a 29-point lead for the Vermillion Tangers. Quickly in the lane. Missed field goal once again for the Seahawks. And then a rebounding foul called on Canton. That will be their 6th team foul. So the next one will give Vermillion a bonus. 60-31, 2:47, third quarter. Get a couple instructions from the coaches of Canton Seahawks. Wait for the official to get the ball into Cale Mockler. Finally does so, and here we go. Back underway. Saunders has it in the backcourt. Contact is made, and a foul is called. Foul called against Matthew Langrock, picking up his second personal, but more importantly, the 7th team foul. And it will send Connor Saunders to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. If he can just make this first one, it will also turn on the running clock for the Vermillion boys. 60-31. First free throw is up on the 1-and-1, and it's off the mark, but an offensive rebound by Dylan Gestring. Back out to Dabney, over to Saunders. He'll shoot the 3 and knocks it down. Connor Saunders, his first points since the first quarter, now has 11 in the ball game, and that is running clock. 63-31, 2:25, third quarter. Controlled by the Seahawks. Back out to Anderson. Anderson almost got himself in trouble. He did. He did travel. It was a late call by the official, and he knew he did it too. Couple more substitutions as Jake Jensen back in the ball game, and Dylan Gestring will take a spot on the bench. We'll see if we see any more of the Vermillion starters, or if they're all going to exit off slowly. Right now, Gestring and Gilbertson, 2 starters on the bench for the Vermillion Tangers. A steal in the front court for the Canton Seahawks. Stealing away there was Vanderstroot from Cale Mockler. Now still in the backcourt, trying to get a little bit of space, and a foul call. This was a bad one on Matthew Langrock. Had Jacob Dabney all in his face and just threw out the right elbow. Dabney adds a little bit of drama to it, falls to the ground, and now we'll see a couple more substitutions as Jake Jensen is out, Nick Sorensen out, and Dylan Gestring and Noah Gilbertson all on the court. So right now, all 5 seniors on the court for the Vermillion Tangers. 63-31, 1:28, third quarter. Now corner 3. This one off the mark for Mockler. Somehow an offensive rebound. Noah Gilbertson to Cale Mockler, and Mockler is able to knock it down. Cale Mockler now 8 points in the ball game, 65-31. Again, really cool to see this. It's a rare sight, but Vermillion having all 5 of their seniors. It's even more unique after we talked about it with head coach Jay Drake, these 5 seniors on our pregame show. And now a rebounding foul against the Canton Seahawks. will travel the length of the court to shoot bonus for Noah Gilbertson. The foul called on Vanderstroop, who came in this third quarter, his first action. He's now picked up 3 personal fouls. 65-31, 56.5 remaining in this third quarter. First free throw is hit by Noah Gilbertson. So give him 13 points for the ball game. Dabney still leads all Tangers with 16. Second one is a hit. 14 points now for Noah Gilbertson, 67-31. Vanderstroop in the lane, tries to use the left hand to finish off the shot. He cannot. Rebounded by Dylan Gestring. Up to Connor Saunders. Across the timeline with Dabney. Dabney in the lane. Back out Saunders. He shoots the 3. Leaves it short. Ball tipped up. It's pulled down by Dabney. Dabney will easily go to the rack and lay it off the glass. Give him 8 points in this third quarter. 18 for the ball game. It's controlled at the top of the keep with the Canton Seahawks. And work it over to this far side. It's Peyton Eben who drives in. Now into the lane. Turnaround jumper left short. And rebounded by the Vermillion Tangers. 69-31. 8 seconds and ticking in this third quarter. It's Cale Mockler, catch and shoot 3. This one off the mark. And we'll see the 3 quarters heave. This one's off the mark as well for the Canton Seahawks. And Canton only hits 2 free throws in that third quarter, as it was all Vermillion. They lead it going into the fourth and final frame, 69-31. We'll step aside. We're back in 60 seconds with the fourth quarter here on ESPN.
Pump up your car, coolers, and tummy with Pump and Pack in Vermillion. Whether you're coming or going, we are here for you when you need us, with what you need. Grocery items, beer, snacks, fuel, wine, hot dogs, pizza by the slice, and now for real ice cream smoothies and shakes, cookie dough, strawberry banana, and even mocha latte. We are open when you need us 24 hours a day with what you need at Pump and Pack on West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Any item for your business, organization, school, or individual needs. Thread and Ink has thousands of items they can customize just for you. Now through March 31st, take 25% off the retail price of engravable items and embroidery services. Bring in your own design or choose from one of theirs, and they'll bring your item to life. Thread and Ink at 106 East Main Street in Vermillion. They're here to make sure you stand out.
Back here at the Vermillion High School, 69-31 as we begin this fourth quarter. The Vermillion Tangers are wrapping up this fourth quarter with this 5 seniors right now on the court. A corner 3 from Jacob Dabney, and Dabney with that 3 now has 21 points in the ball game. Quick shot the other way for the Canton Seahawks. This one's off the mark. Back out. They get it to Herding. Herding to the top of the key with Mastelier. Now back over to the far corner with Avery Herding inside the lane. Trying to get a little bit of space is Bruce. He goes up with his shot. Can't get the fall. Ball's being knocked around. Jacob Dabney looks like he might have gotten poked in the eye. And this will be the final time that we see this Vermillion senior class as they wrap up the regular season. 72-31. A standing ovation from the Vermillion fans. And right now, the Vermillion boys are on their way to setting the school record of most consecutive wins and finish off the regular season at 20-0, and also being the outright Dakota 12 champions. All that separates us from that mark right now is a matter of 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. 3-pointer top of the key from Jeremy Crow. Foul called in the lane against the Vermillion Tangers. And some more high fives are being given around on the bench from those 5 seniors. Just a great performance from all 5 of them. We'll have the final game numbers coming up on the First Dakota National Bank post-game show. Seahawks, they have it along the far wing. Driving down to the baseline. Now back out, they work it to Pierce. Make the pass over to Avery. Avery using the high dribble, almost loses it, has to pick it back up. Now hand it off to Vanderstroop. Vanderstroop almost loses it from behind. Contact was made as well. They say last touch by Jeremy Crow and the Vermillion Tanagers, so it will stay Canton Seahawk basketball. 72-31. Clock continues to tick as we are past that 30-point mark. Canton Seahawks get it back in with 7 seconds on the shot clock. They have it along the baseline. To the top of the key, they work it. Now a fight for it, and a jump ball or a foul call. They're going to say foul on Jake Jensen. It'll be number 7, and you can see from the Vermillion bench they're saying, just stop. Just let Canton shoot. And we'll send to the free throw line now Braxton Mudler. The 6-foot freshman shooting the 1-and-1 and knocks down the first one. Again, this is a very young Canton Seahawks team, and if they can stick together and continue to build, you look at this Canton Seahawks team, they could remind you a lot of what Vermillion has been these past couple of years as well. Just sophomores to juniors to now that senior class, and going to finish the regular season at 20-0. 72-33, 5:25, fourth quarter. It's with Jake Jensen to Jeremy Crow. Down to Sorensen, work it over to Carter Mark, back out to Jensen. To Sorensen, to Carter Mark, to Jensen once again. Jensen, pull-up jumper at the free throw line, knocks it down. Yes, Jake Jensen is a starter, but playing out there kind of with his usual teammates, as a lot of the guys right now on the court are juniors. In fact, I think everyone on the court is a junior except for Jeremy Crow, who's a sophomore. 74-33. It's a Vermillion Tanager lead of 41 points. Baseline drive by the Seahawks over to Vanderstreet, and he's going to travel as he moves by Nick Sorensen. And now a couple more substitutions as we'll see Ty Hertz make his way on and Carter Skolsberg also on. Checking out will be Nick Sorensen, and Jake Jensen will also take a spot on the bench. 74-33, 4:25, fourth quarter. Hertz brings it across the Tanager logo. Hands it behind to Crow. Back over to Hertz. Work it to the top with Carter Mark to Crow. Crow. Back to Hertz. Vermillion just moving around the perimeter. Now a three-pointer from Mark. This one's off the mark, but a rebound pulled down by Carter Skolsberg. He's trying to back his way in. He goes up strong with it. Can't finish it off, and rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. Seahawk fans, Tanager fans, don't forget, coming up tomorrow, it is the beginning of postseason play for the girls in that Region 4. It's the Canton Seahawks. They will be at home taking on Lennox. The Vermillion girls also here back at the Vermillion High School, as they'll be taking on the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Now, Vermillion fans will have that full coverage with the tip set for 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. So make sure you tune in for that again with Fuller Digital Solutions, along with me, Heath Nimke, and ESPN Radio. No JV games to worry about. No C games to worry about. So that is going to tip off at 7 o'clock. That's one of those rare times that we will see a hard time start for a basketball game. A foul called underneath the hoop against the Vermillion Tanagers, as it will send now to the free throw line the Canton Seahawks. And they've gone so deep into their bench. I do not have this young man who's shooting free throws right now on my roster. Well, that's no good. We better figure out his name. Go to our junior varsity. Nope, go back to our varsity, as that is Kane Wallner right now who's shooting free throws. First one makes, the second one misses. Rebounded by the Vermillion Tanagers, 74-34, 3:07, fourth quarter. TJ Tracy now over to Ty Hertz. Hertz in the lane, puts up the right runner, can't get the fall, but it's going to be saved by the Vermillion Tanagers. And now with TJ Tracy. Back over to Hertz along the baseline. Back out to Tracy, corner three for him. Bingo, TJ Tracy. And that gets the bench of Vermillion on their feet. 77-34, 2:45, fourth quarter. Seahawks over in the corner, making the dribble. Back out working it is with Stensland, the sophomore. Now along the baseline, pass back out, top of the key with Mudler. He'll shoot the three. This one's off the mark. Rebounded by Carter Mark. 77-34, 2:20, fourth quarter. Ty Hertz across the timeline. Again, the Vermillion Tanagers are going to set the school record for most consecutive wins. They'll put that mark at 20, and will go into postseason play with a chance to extend that even more. Don't forget, coming up on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show, we'll join with the man of the hour. That is head coach Jay Drake, and talk what this has meant for his team. Carter Mark, get it into Carter Scholesberg. Now to TJ Tracy. Tracy will throw it up off the glass and knock it down. And now, something very, very special we're about to see for the Vermillion Tanagers. As taking off his warm-up, taking off his mask, and coming in to the basketball game with a standing ovation, it will be Charlie Ward entering on for tonight. Again, Charlie Ward, the quarterback for this football team, the last game of the season, tore his ACL. He was going to be so pivotal in this run for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now a timeout called by head coach Jay Drake, which now will make the Vermillion Tanager fans sit for just a moment. Now, when looking at Charlie Ward, he does still have a bandage around the knee. And you've heard it so many times if you're a Tanager fan throughout our conversations with head coach Jay Drake, what he would have meant to this program if he would have played throughout this whole entire season. Even though he hasn't, Vermillion boys are still at 19-0, but just how extraordinary is it to see him right now on the court, going through rehab. And he'll be back next year, playing football, playing basketball, looking probably better than ever before, but just to have this moment right now as a junior. The final 1:17 is ticking away for the Vermillion boys. It's Ward, three ball. This one is off the mark. Back out to Ward. He thinks about shooting the three, will do it again, knocks it down. Charlie Ward hits the three-pointer, 82-34. Canton Seahawks will bring it into the front court. How special of a night has this been for the Vermillion Tanagers. And by the way, Vermillion, the party is just about to get started as the Tanagers are going to get ready for postseason play, but they are going to be your DAC-12 champions. Ward thought about another three. Now top of the key. He'll shoot it once again. This one is off the mark. The final 31 seconds are ticking away. A far three from the Canton Seahawks, rebounded by Ty Hertz. And the final 23 seconds are ticking away. History is about to be made for the Vermillion boys. They hand it to Charlie Ward. The Vermillion fans get on their feet. The final 10 seconds ticking away. We bring in the crowd. They'll bring you the rest of the way home. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that is it. The Vermillion boys have set the season record for most consecutive wins at 20, breaking the record held back in 1976, 1977, along with the 1985, 1986 team. The boys will finish the regular season undefeated at 20-0, and the Vermillion Tanagers are the official Dakota 12 conference champions. Vermillion finishes their season 20-0. Congratulations to the Vermillion boys and head coach Jay Drake on an extraordinary regular season. But as we know, this one for Vermillion still has another number that's on their mind. That number is 1989, as the Vermillion boys have not made it to a state tournament since then, and they are looking to break that mark. The boys right now are still on the court. They are celebrating more and more. Just a phenomenal season. And this one has been exciting to see all the way through. You knew this was going to be a very, very exciting season for the Vermillion boys. Head coach Jay Drake just throws in a quick t-shirt. I'm guessing it says that they are the official DAC-12 champions, as the cheerleaders are handing it out right now to the Vermillion boys. Vermillion has never been the outright DAC-12 champions. They have just had an amazing season right now, 20-0, and it's crazy to think about Vermillion may still finish in second place inside the region and have to play a first-round playoff game, even being undefeated. The T-shirts go on in all red for the Vermillion boys. The parents, the student section have all stuck around as the Vermillion boys now make their way in to see their parents give hugs all around. If you're watching the video stream right now, stick around. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep the stream going for this evening, as coming up here on our First Dakota National Bank postgame show, we are going to have the final statistics and also a conversation with the man of the hour, head coach Jay Drake, as the Vermillion boys are your DAC 12 champions and also finish the regular season at 20-0. Coming up on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show, we have our postgame reactions. That's all on the way in 2 minutes on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
Roof will look no more and contact Days Roofing today at 712-898-9579. Days Roofing covers territory from Cherokee to Sloan, Iowa, and from Sioux Falls to Yankton, South Dakota, covering a 60 to 80 mile radius from Sioux City. Days Roofing has a crew of over 10 years experience, and they complete almost every job in one day. Days Roofing is known for excellent work and great cleanup after the job's done. Call Days Roofing today for an estimate at 712-898-9579. Again, 712-898-9579.
As you clear that last patch of snow from your driveway, breathe in that crisp, rejuvenating winter air before you throw yourself into a monstrous snow pile and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Shriek for tide-turning reversals, whoop at game-winning threes, and gasp in awe at a perfect back walkover. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com. Member FDIC.
I'm Jenny Bolig from the Yankton Slumberland. After over a decade of customer service in our store, helping my customers with our free interior design service is still my favorite part of my job. Not all customers feel confident designing their own room. Whether you need help measuring, matching up with new paint or carpet, or have remodeled or built new, we are here to help you understand how to arrange and purchase for your room. Enjoy free design service at the Yankton Slumberland, 2401 Broadway. It's a good life.
Start your new year off with a great smile with help from Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion. Whether you need oral hygiene care or you have a dental emergency, Knutson Family Dentistry will deliver the best dental care in the area. Convenient hours, the latest dental technology, over 50 combined years of dental experience, along with a professional and compassionate staff. Call for an appointment today, 605-857-8008, 605-857-8008.
This is the First Dakota National Bank postgame show on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. I'm Heath Nimke. Thank you for keeping us tuned in right here with Fuller Digital Solutions on ESPN Radio, as we have plenty coming up here on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show, including basketball to talk about coming up tomorrow as the girls begin their postseason run. We're also going to join with head coach Jay Drake as Vermillion fans slowly exit the gym. Now, of course, everyone's still wearing masks, but at this moment, you're just taking this moment to celebrate. I know the Vermillion boys, they just headed back into the locker room a little bit ago, wearing those red hoodies that do say DAC 12 champions. Now, Vermillion, they have never been the outright champions of the DAC 12 in its 8th year of existence. The first year they have done so, but you look back on this run for the Vermillion boys, and again, the final tonight against the Canton Seahawks, 82-36, and how crazy is it? Not only do they set the record for most consecutive wins, but this is also the first game this season that Vermillion boys have scored 80 points or more. It's the first time that we have seen Charlie Ward on the court. He also hit a three-pointer as he got a couple different opportunities. We see all guys that dress tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers get that opportunity to play. And just a very special night for the Vermillion Tanagers, as again, this doesn't wrap anything up. This is just the conclusion of the regular season. And as much as this one is nice to celebrate, and that's exactly what the Vermillion boys should now do for a little bit, because their next chance of playing a game might be next Tuesday, could even be next Thursday. So you always hear that kind of cliche, take the night to celebrate this one. Well, the Vermillion boys can probably take, let's be honest, next 24 hours to even 36 hours to celebrate what this has all meant. But as we've said, there's a little bit more history that is chasing for the Vermillion boys, as right now you can see it just off to my right. It says it, 1989 state tournament teams. They were champions back in 1989 when they made it to the state tournament. Nobody has ever made it to the state tournament since then. And we're talking a lot of great athletes that have come through the doors of this school for the Vermillion boys. But this year, it just seems different. And we've heard it from so many, from the fans, from the coaches, from the players themselves. This isn't a guy, this isn't one specific player that can go out there and get it done for the Vermillion boys. It is a complete team effort, and that is how they're able to win these games. And that's the reason why Vermillion at 20-0, and even add that into the teams this year. Out of the entire state of South Dakota, nobody else is undefeated. Even we saw Sioux Falls, Washington for the longest. They lost last week. Vermillion will be the only undefeated team this season in the entire state of South Dakota. How special is that? We talk about it. Let's go over the final numbers tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. 4 that hit double figures. All seniors hit double figures except for Cale Mockler. He finishes with 8 points off the bench. Edelai's leading scorer tonight was Jacob Dabney. He finished with 21 points, 14 points for Noah Gilbertson, 11 points for Connor Saunders, and 10 points for Dylan Gestreen. Other scorers, the other starter, Jake Jensen, he finishes with 8 points this evening. Nick Sorensen, he finishes with 2 points. TJ Tracy finishes with 5 this evening. And also, as we mentioned a little bit ago, 3 points for Charlie Ward as he got his first action this season. For the Vermillion boys, they shoot 47% from the field, including 35% from the free throw line. They did struggle a little bit at the, from the three-point line. About 35%. They struggled, though, from the free throw line, whereas a combined team, they went 4 of 5 in that first half. They went 6 of 10 in the second half. So, again, at 66% from the free throw line, that might be the only critique that head coach Jay Drake might have for the Vermillion boys. For the Canton Seahawks, they have a good night, but no one is able to hit double figures. Jacob Vanderweerd, the sophomore, finishes with 9 points this evening. 8 points for Matthew Langrock. 6 points for Peyton Eben. Also 4 points for Derek Teason. 3 points for Lance Teason for the Canton Seahawks. And now we've been talking about it. The man that we have been waiting for some time, that is coach of the Vermillion boys. Now on this crowd of players.